The junk operation building was heavy, quiet, not the peaceful kind of quiet, but the heavy kind, kind that made people walk faster and speak softer, the kind that came from one man alone, Jung. He was the young CEO, brilliant and feared. His name alone could make manager nervous. His footstep in the hallway made people strengthen their backs. His eyes were sharp, his face unlevel. Jungkook did not smile, not at work, not at home. Even in his last beautiful house, silence lived with him, and the light were always neat. The furniture untouched, the room too clean. It never felt warm. And in that house lived a little boy, Han. Han was 6 years old. He had big eyes that noticed everything and mind that never stopped thinking. He was smart, playful, and sensitive. He also had one special talent. He could scare any nannies. No nanny stayed longer than 1 week. Some left after 3 days, some left some after one night, and cried loudly, refused to listen, hid their phones, and locked himself in his room. He never hurt anyone, he just pushed them away. Jungkook never understood why. Jungkook believed children need rules, not emotions. Food on time, sleep on time, school on time. That was love, wasn't it? But Han did not think so. That morning, Jungkook stood in his kitchen fixing his tie. Han sat at the table, quietly eating toast. Jungkook checked his watch. Jungkook, eat faster. We will be late. Han nodded, but not look up. A housekeeper entered slowly. Housekeeper, sir, Han's school call. There is a water problem. School is closed today. Jungkook stopped. Jungkook close? Housekeeper, yes sir. Jungkook looked at Han. Han finally looked up, shining with hope. Han, I don't have school. Jungkook stayed silent. He had an important meeting today. Investors were coming. This meeting could not be delayed. Jungkook closed his eyes for a moment. Jungkook, get your jacket. Han blinked. Han, where are we going? Jungkook, to my office. Han mouth slowly opened. Han, really, Daddy? Jungkook, yes, do not run and do not touch anything. Do not make any noise. Han nodded, quickly, afraid the answer might change. The car ride was quiet. Han sat beside Jungkook's feet, not touching the floor, looking out the window. Tall building passed by. He pressed his face to the glass. Han, Dad, is your office big? Jungkook, yes. Han, bigger than our house? Jungkook paused. Jungkook, different. Han nodded, accepting the answer. He leaned back and hugged his small bag. The junk operation building was tall and cold. Han held Jungkook's hand tightly as they walked inside. People walked, implied, "Good morning, sir." Jungkook nodded. Han looked around, eyes wide. Daddy, everyone looked scared. Jungkook frowned slightly. Jungkook, they are walking. Han hummed softly. They reached the escalator floor, and what was when? And that was when Taehyung appeared. Kim Taehyung walked towards them, holding a tablet and cup of coffee. He wore a neat suit, but his tie was slightly loose, like he forgot to fix it. His hair was soft and just a little messy. He smiled when he saw Jungkook. Good morning, sir. Your meeting starts in 10 minutes. Then he noticed Han. Taehyung bent slightly. Taehyung, oh, hello. Han stared at him. Taehyung smiled wider. Taehyung? Han did not answer. Jungkook spoke. Jungkook, his school is closed. Taehyung nodded slowly. Taehyung, I see. Jungkook checked his watch again. Jungkook, I need you to watch him. Taehyung blinked. Taehyung, me? Jungkook, yes, you. Taehyung looked at Han again. Then Han turned his head. Jungkook's voice was calm but cold. Jungkook, just keep him quiet. That's all. Han's shoulders stiffened. Taehyung noticed. Taehyung put the tablet down on a nearby table and to Han height. Taehyung, do you like quiet? Han looked at Jungkook, then looked back at Taehyung. Han, no. Taehyung smiled softly. Taehyung, me neither. Jungkook turned to leave. Jungkook, I'll be back soon. The door closed behind them. The hallway felt too quiet. Han stood still, watching the doors like they might open again. Taehyung stood up slowly. Taehyung saw Han, right? Han nodded. Taehyung, I'm not very good at being quiet. Is that okay? Han looked at him carefully. Han, you're not scared? Taehyung laughed softly. Should I be? Han thought about it. Han, everyone else is. Taehyung, I'm different. Han stared. Then he smiled a little. Taehyung led Han into his office. It was small but bright. There was little decoration on the desk, a small plant, a tiny speaker, colorful pens. Han touched the desk gently. Han, this is your room? My work room. Han, it's nicer than Daddy's. Taehyung laughed quietly. Taehyung, don't tell him that. Han smiled more. Taehyung sat on the floor. Taehyung, do you like candy? Han frozen. Han, candy? Taehyung reached into his drawer and pulled out a small bucket. Creamy beers. Han eyes went wide. Han, really? Taehyung nodded. Taehyung, only a few? Han nodded quickly. Taehyung handed him one. Ate it slowly, like it might disappear. Han, you are nice. Taehyung smiled but not speak. They sat quietly for a moment. Then Taehyung turned on the speaker. Soft music filled the room. Han, what's that? Taehyung music helped me think. Han listened. Then Taehyung stood up and moved his arms slightly. softly, Taehyung, I am a robot. Han blinked. Then he laughed, a small laugh at first, then louder. Han stood up and curbed him. Han beeped. They moved around the room slowly, careful, no running, just laughing. People fell from the desk. Han gasped. Han, I'm sorry. Taehyung, pick it up. Taehyung, it's okay. Han frozen. Han, you're not mad? Taehyung shook his head. Why would I be? Han did not answer. They danced again. Time passed. The meeting ended early. Jungkook stepped out, tired and serious. He walked towards the home office. Then he heard laughter. Han laughed. Jungkook stopped walking. He slowly opened the door. Inside, Taehyung was moving stiffly like a robot. Han was copying him perfectly. Paper were scratched, shattered, but nothing was broken. Han was smiling, really smiling. Jungkook's chest felt tight. Without thinking, he laughed. A short sound, then frozen. Han frozen. They both looked at Jungkook. The room went quiet. Jungkook cleared his throat. Jungkook, what is going on here? Taehyung smiled carefully. Taehyung, robot training. Taehyung, robot training? Han nodded seriously. Han, I'm learning. Jungkook looked at his son. Han ran to him. Han, Daddy, did you see me? Jungkook hesitated, then he nodded. Jungkook, yes. Han smiled wider. Jungkook looked at Taehyung. For the first time, he did not feel annoyed. The room was still full of laughter. Han stood in the middle of the office, cheeks warm, eyes bright, his small chest rose and fell quickly from all the dancing. Taehyung was still being bent silently, frozen in his silly robot pose. Jungkook stood near the door. Something about this scene felt like glass that could break if anyone spoke too loudly. Han suddenly moved. Before anyone could react, he ran forward and wrapped his arms tightly around Taehyung's waist. His face pressed into Taehyung's suit jacket as if that was the safest place in the world. Han spoke loudly, proudly, without doubt. Han, Mommy. The word hung in the air. Silence filled the room. Taehyung's body went stiff. His eyes widened. His hand hovered in the air, unsure where to go. He had never been called that before, not once in his life. Taehyung, Han, Jungkook stopped breathing. The word echoed in his mind. Mommy. Han lifted his head, smiling like he had just done something very smart. Han, you make me laugh. Mommy, make people laugh. Taehyung swallow. Taehyung, Han, I. He looked at Jungkook, panic clear on his face. Jungkook's expression was unrebel. His mind felt loud, full of thought he could not arrange. Jungkook, Han? Han looked at him. Jungkook, let's go. Han frowned slightly, but obeyed, stepping back, then quickly knelt down. Han, that was a big word. Han titled his head. Han, is, i- is it bad? Taehyung shook his head slowly. Hmm. Taehyung, no, it's just important. Han thought about it. Han, I like important. Jungkook turned away. He did not trust his face. After a moment, he spoke calmly. Jungkook, get your things. We are going home now. Han nodded, suddenly quiet again. Taehyung stood up. Taehyung, sir, I'm sorry if Jungkook raised a hand. Jungkook, it's fine. Their eyes met. For a brief second, Jungkook felt something strange, something warm, something heavy. Then he turned away again. The ride home was quiet. Han sat in the back seat, hugging his bag. He picked at Jungkook thought the mirror. Han, Daddy? Jungkook, yes. Han, was it wrong? Jungkook held the steering wheel tighter. Jungkook, Anya, Han, relax. Han, okay. They drove the rest of the way in silence. That evening, dinner was on time. Han sat at the table, staring at his food. He did not touch it. Jungkook noticed. After a few minutes, Jungkook ate. Han shook his head. Han, I'm not hungry, Daddy. Jungkook, you didn't eat much today. Han pushed the plate slightly away. Han, I want to talk to Taehyung. The name felt strange in the quiet dining room. Jungkook, you already saw him today. Han looked up. Han, I want to see him again. Jungkook hesitated. He did not like calling people after work. He liked clean lines between work and home. He liked rules. But Han's eyes were hopeful. Jungkook stood up. Jungkook, finish at least half. Han looked at the plate, then slowly ate. Not much, but enough. Jungkook picked up his phone and walked into the study. He stared at the name on the screen. He had never called him after work before. After a moment, he pressed call. Taehyung was drying his hair when his phone rang. He checked the screen. CEO? Taehyung blinked. Taehyung. Hello, sir. Jungkook, Han want to talk to you. Taehyung smiled softly. Taehyung, oh. Han was suddenly filled the phone. Han, I want video. Taehyung laughed. Taehyung, alright. Video it is. The call was switched. Taehyung appeared on the screen wearing a bathrobe, hair damp and falling softly over his forehead. Han gasped. Han, your hair is funny. Taehyung touched it. Taehyung, it does what it wants. Han laughed loudly. Jungkook sat beside Han without meaning to. His eyes stayed on the screen longer than they should have. Taehyung noticed. He rushed for napro. Taehyung, sir, are you watching me or your son? Han laughed even harder. Han, Daddy is looking. Jungkook quickly looked away. Jungkook focused on the call. Han. Taehyung smiled. assumed but gentle. Taehyung, did you eat dinner? I nodded. A little. Taehyung, good. Your body needs food. I leaned closer to his screen. Han, will you come tomorrow? Taehyung paused. Taehyung, if your dad needs me, then Han looked at Jungkook. Han, do you? Jungkook hesitated. Jungkook, yes. The answer surprised even him. Taehyung smiled softened. Taehyung, then I'll be there. Han yawned suddenly. Taehyung, someone is sleepy. Han nodded. Han, can you stay until I sleep? Taehyung nodded. I'm not right here. Han curled up on the couch, still holding the phone. Jungkook watched quietly as his son fell asleep with a smile on his face. Taehyung spoke softly. Taehyung, he is a good kid. Jungkook answered after a pause. Jungkook, yes. Taehyung, good night, sir. Jungkook, good night. The call ended. The room felt quieter than before. The next day at work, Jungkook was different. He spoke less. He paused more. He stared out the window longer than usual. Hobby noticed first. Hobby, did something happen? Somin leaned closer. Somin, he didn't raise his voice once. Hobby, that is scary. Somin, no, I think it's strange. Didn't work as usual, but he felt it too. Something had shifted. Jungkook eyes follow him sometimes, not cold, just thoughtful. That night, Jungkook stood at Han's door. He was asleep, breathing softly. In his small hand was a grumpy beer whopper. Jungkook gently pulled the blanket higher. He stayed there longer than usual. His chest felt warm, and for the first time, the house did not feel empty. The call started without anyone noticed. When they become normal, at first Jungkook called Taehyung only for one reason. Jungkook would check the time carefully before calling. He told himself it was necessary. Han slept better after hearing Taehyung's voice. Han ate better when Taehyung reminded him. Han smiled more. That was all, nothing else. One evening, Jungkook stood in the kitchen while Han colored at the table. Jungkook, he finished his homework. Taehyung's voice came softly toward the phone. Taehyung, that's good. Did you draw well? Han held the phone close. Han, I draw 3 suns. Taehyung, 3? Han, one for daddy, one for you, and last for me. There was a pause. Taehyung, that sounds perfect. Jungkook listened quietly. That night after Han slept, Jungkook realized something he had not ended the call. Taehyung was still there. Taehyung, sir? Jungkook blinked. Jungkook, yes. Taehyung, is something wrong? Jungkook hesitated. Jungkook, no. Another pause. Then, good night. Jungkook almost agreed. Then he spoke. Jungkook, how was your day? Taehyung smiled, thought Jungkook could not see it. Taehyung, long. I spilled coffee on my notes. Taehyung, again? Taehyung laughing. Taehyung, I'm ready. That night they talked for 10 minutes. The next night, 15. Soon the call were not only about Han, they were talking about work, about food, about small things. Taehyung told Jungkook about his mother, how she taught him to smile even when things were hard, how she believed kindness was strong, not weakness. Jungkook listened more than he spoke. Sometimes after the call ended, Jungkook sat alone in the quiet house and wondered when it had started to feel less empathy. Then noticed the change too. Jungkook's voice sounded softer now, less sharp, less distant. Sometimes Jungkook laughed. It was quiet, but it was real. Taehyung found himself waiting for the calls. He told himself it was for Han, but he, his heart did not listen. One afternoon, Han stayed late at the office again. Jungkook had a meeting, and Taehyung sat beside Han with papers and crayons. Han looked up suddenly. Han, do you live alone? Taehyung paused. Taehyung, yes. Han forward. Han, that's lonely. Taehyung smiled gently. Taehyung, sometimes. Han thought for a moment. Han, you can live with us. Taehyung laughed softly. Taehyung, that's a big decision. Han nodded seriously. Han, Daddy is lonely too. Taehyung half felt tired. He did not answer. That night, Taehyung lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. He realized the truth slowly, carefully, like touching something. He was falling in love, not suddenly, not loudly, just quietly. Jungkook realized it on a rainy evening. Han was asleep. Han was asleep. The house was quiet. Rain tapped against the window. Jungkook stood in the living room, phone in hand. He had already called Taehyung once that day. He told himself he did not need to call again. He should move anyway. Taehyung answered quickly. Taehyung, sir. Jungkook, are you busy? Taehyung, no. Silence followed. Taehyung waited. Jungkook spoke slowly. Jungkook, the house feels too quiet. Taehyung was soft and Taehyung, do you want me to talk? Jungkook, yes. They talk about nothing important. Rain, music, and painting. Then Jungkook said something he had never said before. Jungkook, I don't know how to be warm. Taehyung did not laugh. Taehyung, you are trying. That matters. Jungkook closed his eyes. That night he slept deeply. The confession happened on an ordinary day. No special plans, perfect timing. Han was at a sleepover with Jin, who instantly needed Uncle time. Jungkook invited him over to discuss work. They sat in the living room. Between them, the silence felt heavy. Jungkook stared at his cup. Jungkook, I'm not good with words. Taehyung smiled gently. Taehyung, I know. Jungkook took a breath. Jungkook, when you came into my life, things changed. Taehyung hands tightened slightly. Jungkook, hand changed. I changed. He looked up. Jungkook, I don't want the house to feel empty again. Taehyung eyes softened. Taehyung, sir. Jungkook stood. Taehyung, I don't know how to say this properly. He bowed his head slightly. Jungkook, but I care about you. The room was quiet. Taehyung stood too. Taehyung, I care about you too. Jungkook looked up surprised. Taehyung smiled. Taehyung, I have for a while. Jungkook stepped closer, slowly, carefully. He lifted his hand, stopping just short of Taehyung's face. Jungkook, may I? Taehyung nodded. Jungkook leaned in, and the door opened. Han stood there. Daddy, the frozen. Taehyung jumped slightly. Jungkook cleared his throat. Han, are you fighting? Taehyung laughed nervously. Taehyung, no. Jungkook, no. Han nodded seriously. Han, good. Mommy shouldn't cry. Neither of them corrected him. They shared a quick look. Something gentle settled between them. Time passed, not fast, not slow, just right. Then started coming over more. Han started calling the house home louder than before. Jungkook learned how to smile without thinking. The house became warmer, louder. Laughter lay there now. That the wedding was simple, not big stage, no long speech. He wore a simple suit and ran everywhere. Jin cried openly. Jin, I waited here for this. Herbie clapped loudly. Someone record everything. Smiled thought tears. Taehyung stood beside Jungkook, still gentle, still fearless. Jungkook held his hand firmly. Han ran up and grabbed both their hands. Han, I told you. They bent down. Han smiled brightly. Han, I found my mommy. Jungkook laughed, a real laugh. For the first time in his life, he did not feel alone.